Host Chad Michael Renner. I'm the Director of North America Account Management here in the New York City office for Alibaba. Um, I have kind of a unique background and some resources available on this main slide here, including my email address. If you have any questions or want a copy of this presentation, just shoot me an email, chad.mr@alibaba-na.com. All right, so again, this is ASTE, New Seller Orientation, and I'm your host, Director of North America Account Management, Chad Michael Renner. This is intended for newer sellers or sellers getting started on the platform that need to understand, what are kind of the first 10 steps to getting started on Alibaba.com, right? The first thing I want to point out is all this content goes to our YouTube channel. We have an ASTE playlist there that you can access with the most latest content and some instructional video content on how to do certain things. So if you miss anything, we kind of go through a lot in this webinar. If you miss anything, it does get posted on our YouTube channel. The link's right here at the top of the screen. But you can also just search Alibaba.com USA sellers on YouTube, and you can find us that way. And then you can find the ASTE playlist. This has the most recent orientation and advanced training, but also dives into, step-by-step instructional videos on uploading products, using RFQs, star supplier, product showcase, all of this. So a great resource for new sellers that are learning about the platform. So I've spent a lot of time putting this presentation together to be the simplest, to boil things down for new sellers. So setting up for success in your first year, for the first thing is you need to know what package you're on, right? There's different packages at Alibaba.com. It's different than selling on Amazon, Walmart, eBay. This is a B2B wholesale trading platform, right? We're targeting in on importers, distributors, wholesalers, retailers. So this is sort of the packages that we have with the support features that come with them, right? Obviously, verified supplier coming with all of the platform features and seller support, but just also know that support varies by package. So, a premium package or a verified supplier, they're going to have a dedicated account manager from our US office, as well as the standard package. But it's just good to understand kind of where you sit year one within the packages. And this is why we offer different packages is there's some sellers that need more help than other sellers. But also you can see that, on a premium package and a verified supplier package, those come with some free product uploads, some startup advertising cash balance, so $2,000 in KWA already, plus premium customer support package. So anyways, just have an idea of how you got signed up for Alibaba, who's your sales rep, like keep that stuff in a folder somewhere so you know who to reach out to get help. And I'm happy to help anybody, especially anybody who attends these webinars, so just shoot me an email. But this is sort of what I was trying to get to earlier, the seller success roadmap. I'm trying to really simplify things. I'm not saying this is exactly how things go, but I'm trying to show you a roadmap and a timeline of here's kind of how it looks, kind of getting onboarded on Alibaba.com. And the truth is it's a longer onboarding process because it's a different type of platform, right? So typically, especially for the larger businesses, right, year one's pretty much dedicated to setup and optimization. And that's not to say you can't get set up in less than a year. You can, but you really have to there are a lot of levels and functions to Alibaba. So you have to operate at a high magnitude on a daily basis. You have to have somebody operating your storefront. So I'm going to go through this probably a little quicker than I should, but just know that this content does get posted on your YouTube channel. And if you email me, I'll send you a copy of the presentation. But basically, months 1 through 3 is you're trying to create that foundation. You're setting yourself up for success, right? The biggest key is assigning personnel within your company that can log in and operate your Alibaba.com storefront on a daily basis. This is how you maintain optimal metrics. The second thing is connect with your service provider. For initial product uploads, what they can do in an hour would take you a month, right? They have special access on the back end to help sellers get onboarded quicker, and they do this over and over again, so they're experts at this. That's a really good way to reduce the amount of onboarding time it takes. So assign somebody in your company to operate your storefront, and then that will be knowledge sharing link for our posting team and our service provider teams to get your custom mini site set up, your products uploaded, and your storefront launched, right? And then obviously, the basics here, log into your portal every day, submit your business verification and trade assurance. That's the first thing you do as a seller. You can't do anything until you submit business verification. So to submit business verification, you actually do that under your Help Center tab. There's a section for business verification. I'll go ahead and show you guys just real quick live demo. That's what I like to do on this webinar is give a real experience. So if you click on My Alibaba, this is what log in. It takes you to your seller portal, right? It looks something like this. All of your navigational tabs are right here on the left. So if you hover over Help Center and click on business verification, this is where your business verification documents are housed. So this is what it should look like when you need to submit business verification, right? You're just going to fill in the information, click start verification, and go through the process. The important part here is to make sure you really kind of get one shot of this. So you want to make sure everything matches. The name on the account, the name on the document you're submitting need to match, the address need to match. Otherwise, your business verification will get denied, and then it's kind of an uphill battle from there. But submitting business verification is super important. So you would go ahead and click on start verification and go through that process. I've included some resources in the presentation here that show you what you need for that. But for time's sake, I'm going to go ahead and continue to move forward here. But after you submit business verification and trade assurance, you want to set up your company profile. You want to edit your storefront URL. You want to upload your company logo. These are basic things to operating an account online, right? You want to set up your product showcase. You want to remain in contact with people like myself and your sales rep and our AM team. That's what they're here to do. They're here to help you. So you can email me or my team with any questions, and we're here to support you guys along your journey. A lot of times, the best sellers I see are sellers that work together very closely with us, right? And are very good listeners. So attend ASTE orientation and advanced training. That's kind of the last few things, months 1 through 3, which if you're on this training, great job. You're on the right path. Then you want to, get star rated, scale your performance, have professional operations. And we'll go through this in depth as we move along in the presentation, but I just want to provide a reminder, right? Alibaba is a B2B platform, right? We have to think of this as an ocean freighter, not a speedboat, right? If we have to change direction or do anything, it takes some time, right? You need to create the foundation and then scale. This is very important to selling on Alibaba. So a quick start, a step-by-step guide for new sellers. This is it. These are my 10 steps. I've spent so much time thinking about these and trying to make sure that drill it down to exactly and simplify it as much as possible. But step number 1, assign someone within your organization to operate and log in your Alibaba.com storefront. If you're an entrepreneur or you're a sole proprietorship and you're a one-man band show, it's going to be hard for you to do everything. If you're in charge of sales, marketing, warehousing, logistics, and you're operating your Amazon store and your Walmart store and your Alibaba, you really, this is somewhat of a full-time job. You really need to dedicate someone within your organization. Maybe you have someone to operate your other platforms. They would be a good person to operate your Alibaba.com platform, but ideally someone who understands the internet, so to speak, and has some technical skills. And then step number 2 is, have that person submit business verification and trade assurance in your seller portal. I just showed you where you can navigate to get to that. And then step number 3 is obviously start uploading your products. Let me make this very simple. There's really nothing you can do until your product catalog is uploaded to Alibaba. You don't need to worry about the messages. You don't need to worry about anything until you get your catalog uploaded. Then you really start optimizing those metrics, responding to everything. But the best way to upload your products is to connect with our service provider and just send them an Excel spreadsheet. They would provide one for you, and you'd fill in your product information and include your imagery and pricing, and they would upload them for you. Step number 4, you log in every day and master the basics, and we're going to dive into that a little bit more here. So for step number 1, assigning personnel to operate your Alibaba.com storefront, that means someone has to be logging in, right? I'm getting very basic here and showing you, sign in. Well, when you log in, you can log in with your member ID and then your password or the email associated with your account and the password. So this is the more information I was going to provide on business verification. So to the right here, you can see what you need to prepare. which is a valid ID, business registration certificate, articles of incorporation, letter of authorization if relevant, your proof of operational address, proof of banking, and phone number, phone bill, right? So you navigate to the help center. This is where you submit this information. Once you pass the business verification, you're ready to start uploading your products, right? So you want to list your products on Alibaba.com in a way that makes sense for your business, right? This is what's so unique about Alibaba, is you can kind of customize it to your operations, right? How do you set up a new customer in your system, right? What sort of information do you need from them? You need business name, tax ID, business address, contact, email, right? Think about these things to set up a new business in your CRM. How do you do that? Start thinking of how we can customize Alibaba to spit out a good new B2B sales lead for you and your team. So the first thing is understanding the product listing types, which is much different than other platforms, right? Alibaba has what we call ready to ship or RTS products and customized products. These are two different options when listing product. You can list them as RTS or customized. These are two separate product type listings. So ready to ship listings, these are products that can be ordered by the buyer, meaning the transaction occurs directly on the platform. And this is only available in the country in which you are registered in as a seller. So this is you're selling a case of toothpaste and the transaction actually occurs on the platform. The business would pay for the item. You would ship it, enter tracking. When it's delivered, the money would be released to your Alipay account, and then you would transfer that into your bank account. So this is a transactional posting. These in order to be a ready to ship item, it has to have an MOQ of 1, right? Obviously, you're not going to do a $40,000 container transaction on Alibaba.com. That'll take place off the platform, which leads me into customized product. Customized product, think of this as a lead generation posting. The buyer can inquire about the product, but cannot actually transact or check out through the platform. So they can just say, hey, I want this product. Can you do it in red? And I need it 2 containers, right? Because this is going to be on a client by client basis. Everything's going to be kind of different, right? So for ready to ship products, this is best for packaged goods, finished goods, or branded products made to stock that could be sold by the case, right? Customized product, this is best for private label goods or custom large volume orders, made to order, white label orders, right? Large volume orders. The engagement will happen on Alibaba, but the transaction and the order for a customized product will actually take place off the platform internally within your business, how you would process an order with another customer, right? So my advice is most likely you want a combination of both of these posted to your Alibaba.com storefront. You want RTS product listings to target domestically with lower MOQs and shipping costs calculated. This is to target in on smaller grocery chains, convenience stores, bodegas, mom and pop shops, or larger households looking to consolidate orders and be serviced, but maybe can't meet the high MOQs with the manufacturer, right? Maybe they need a pallet of Pringles, but they can't order an entire container, but they want to consolidate their Pringles and their Coca-Cola and their Snickers bars and everything and order it all together online, right? This is more of an RTS type listing. Customized product listings are to target larger businesses, right? Higher MOQs with range pricing incentives, right? This is importers, distributors, wholesalers, retailers, right? These are yellow page ads, right? You have to look at Alibaba as somewhat of a 24/7 trade show, right? It's more of a marketing tool and lead generation tool than anything. But when I was in the export business, I used to work with big companies like Unilever and ConAgra, and we would have rights to regions overseas, right? So I would go to the trade shows over there, and I tried to grow distribution over there. We would get a booth, we would set up a booth with product samples, and we would hope the right buyer for the right supermarket walked by and wanted to talk about our product, right? You have to think about this as a 24/7 trade show booth. That's kind of the customized product listing. This is a way to get exposure for your products. This is the way to get some data and traction behind your products. Maybe you have a product offering of 20 and you want to know which ones gauges the most interest, or what regions are looking for this type of product to import, right? Alibaba can help you answer all those types of questions. But one last note here, list your products on Alibaba.com in a way that makes sense for your business. This is going to be different for everyone. I'm not going to tell you how to do it. You have to tell me, this is our business. We're in the flooring industry and this is how we operate. Or we make custom furniture and this is how we operate. Or we're a food service distributor and this is how we operate. or we're a beverage supplier or a private label manufacturer. These are all going to take a little bit different approaches, but the things that they have in common are this. Do you have a business website? Most likely the answer is yes. Do you have a contact us page you can redirect traffic to from Alibaba? Most likely yes. Do you have a tech team that can maybe even build out your own landing page? Most likely yes. How does your business generate a new sales leads? Do you go to trade shows? What kind of information do you capture at trade shows? Ideally, you kind of want to match that to your landing page or to your website page, because one of the best ways to utilize Alibaba is to use it as a global lead generator to basically redirect all traffic on the platform to your contact us page on your website or a page that you've created where you have them fill out and submit a form and capture their information. And there's a few reasons why. One, this is a filtering process, different market. This is B2B market, right? If we know we get 100 inquiries, but only 10 follow the instructions and go out and fill out the form. Well, those are the 10 that have money and cash and are ready to purchase and have everything they need to place an order with you. Those are the 10 you want to focus on, not the other 90 looky-loos, right? So this is a way to kind of utilize Alibaba and customize it to your business processes and import it straight into your system, right? So thinking about what type of information you need from a new customer is important, and thinking about how your business adds a new customer to its CRM or to its database is important. You can kind of mold that, and then you can use Alibaba is basically your global lead generator, right? And redirect all that traffic to your website where you have instructions for them. If you're looking for hardwood flooring, go to this page, fill out the form. If you're looking for our doors and doorknobs, go to this tab and fill out this form, right? You want to be able to put the action back on the business in order to make it kind of autonomous for your company. So there's not too much work. It's just spitting out leads to your sales team. So a lot of the things we just talked about, right? Thinking about where you sit in the supply chain. Do you sell branded items or offer private label services? How do you capture new sales leads? You need to start thinking about product pricing, imagery, and specs. We can't do this for you. You have to provide the product imagery, the pricing, the specs. And that stuff's really important. It does matter what it looks like online. And if you have 6 options to put in a photo, I would just fill them all up, right? And make sure that you're being as detailed in your listings as you can. An example pricing strategy for customized listings would be, order 1 case for $19.99, order 100 cases for $12.99, or order 1,000 cases at $9.99, right? This is a way to create some clickbait and generate good leads for your business. So tip number 1, have a good pricing strategy and work together with Alibaba.com service providers for faster onboarding experience. Work with myself, work with our posting team. This is what we do. And then tip number 2, start thinking about customizing this to your business, right? Do you have a website contact us page? Make a standard templated response with a link to that page. We can save that in your Alibaba and have everybody who sends a message gets that automatic response back. You're going to your page and filling out your form. This is a great procedure for filtering and creating good quality leads for you and your sales team. I'm just showing some basic stuff on this one. The advanced training we really dive into, here's how you upload products. I do a lot of live demonstrations. The best way to upload your products is to work through our service providers. But if you are doing it on your own, it looks something like this, where you would basically search out that category. And at the bottom here, you can see product type you have ready to ship or customize. So that's where you would select what type of product listing you are posting. And I would list everything as customized first, and then you can duplicate those listings to smaller, lower MOQs, RTS listings later down the line after you've reviewed them and kind of have an idea of what it's like, right? But you would select your category, select your product type, and then you would agree to the terms and go to the next page and fill in the product information, pricing, and specs. And your product information score will be on the top right-hand side. You'll click a circle. And if it's 4.0 or above, you're doing good. If it's bad, below 3.5, that's kind of considered a low standard product. You may want to fill in some more features or add some more images or add a video or do something to increase that product information. So log in every day and master the basics, right? This is why you have to have a dedicated account operator, right? How can buyers find suppliers' products on Alibaba.com? Well, they find them one of 2 ways: keyword searches and browsing. right? So you have to think from the buyer's perspective and look at it as kind of like a B2B e-commerce sales funnel. You can see here on the left. So general overview of doing B2B online trade on Alibaba.com, impression or exposure, right? This leads to clicks. Clicks lead to inquiries. Inquiries lead to orders. Think of these steps as a funnel to success. I put this into a cool little looking funnel for us. And then I put some actions and seller tips that I have as a previous seller myself to really scaling and progressing on the platform. For example, if you wanted to get more impressions, then you need to improve your product rankings, right? Make sure your product's listed in the correct category, optimize your product titles, fine tune your keywords, increase your product information score to 4.0 or above for all products, right? If you wanted to increase the amount of clicks that you're getting, well, you need to make sure you're maintaining optimal metrics. You're logging in every day. You have a good response rate. You become a star supplier. Alibaba's algorithm will start recommending you to buyers, right? These are actions and expert seller tips that I have. If you want to get more inquiries, maybe start thinking about using paid advertising. Purchase a strategic keyword for PC or mobile. So one of the unique things on Alibaba, and I go more into this in the advanced training, is you can actually purchase a keyword. So if you're a peanut butter supplier, you could actually purchase the keyword peanut butter, and you can own that keyword for a year on Alibaba. And anyone who searches that keyword, your product listings are going to populate number one. Half of the battle is winning the digital shelf, right? We're going to go through some of that here in a second. I'm not going to spoil it. So main traffic funnels on Alibaba: organic ranking traffic, or SEO, paid ranking traffic, SEM, and then centralized scenario traffic. You can see the difference between these. Obviously organic ranking traffic is based on views, click, feedback logic. You can get star rated to increase your organic rating traffic. Paid ranking traffic, these are marketing tools to help sellers win the B2B digital shelf, like sponsored brand ads, premium sponsored ads, keyword ads. Centralized scenario traffic, this is like getting featured in the USA Pavilion or joining a category specific online trade show, or getting featured in March Expo or Super September. The RFQ market in your seller portal is a good example, a good way for a new seller to go after business, right? So this is what I was getting to earlier. You have to win the digital shelf, right? Over 50% of items sold show up in the top 5 search ranks, 75% in the top 10. In-store shoppers use aisles to navigate shelves. Online shoppers use keywords to navigate shelves. Identifying and deploying winnable keywords that lead to your digital shelf can increase storefront and product exposure significantly. You want to create a global brand for your business. That's what Alibaba can help you do. You want to design an attractive storefront, create quality product listings, have efficient processes in place for your account operators. This can be super key. So step 5, think from your buyer's perspective, right? Set up and design your Alibaba.com B2B customer-facing storefront, right? Whether that's through our service providers or someone internally with your company, start getting familiar with the system and how to input your information. So step 6, and this is probably one of the most important steps, and I'm speaking as a previous seller. You want to standardize these processes and procedures for responding to inquiries and messages. A lot of it can look kind of spammy in the very beginning. Don't worry, it gets you get higher quality buyer traffic as the snowball effect kind of happens, right? But in order for that to happen, you have to respond to things and have a process for things. It's impossible. The last thing you want to do is be exchanging 100 messages with 100 different sellers and never getting an order, right? So the best way to work around this is to have a templated automated response, right? That redirects traffic wherever you want it to go, a landing page that you've created or a website contact us page that you already have with the form. And you'll basically say, hey, to get more information on our products or place an order, go to this link, fill out our form and submit it. And what your operator will do is only concentrate on the companies that follow these instructions and submit the form. And that'll filter out all of the looky-loos and the spam stuff. So setting up an automated templated response with a link for redirection is key, super key for your operator. Creating that foundation for success, right? Editing your customer-facing storefront URL. When you sign up for Alibaba, it's your member ID.trespass.alibaba.com. You can actually change that to the name of your company, right? That's how it's going to index on Google, right? That's how all your listings will get indexed on search engines. So these are important concepts that I dive into in depth in the advanced training, but I'm providing a little bit of outline here in the orientation. edit your customer facing storefront URL. You can do that under your shop tab. There's your company profile, your shop decoration, your edit your URL. Um, these are all things you need to start thinking about. The most important thing is getting your products listed. It's certainly a numbers game with Alibaba. The more products, the more chances you have to become successful quicker. Listing your products is the biggest bottleneck to overcome, right? You don't really even have to worry about too much of this until you get your catalog listed. Then you're ready for the next step. Then you can start using the RFQ market and import from your posted product and stuff like that. Upload your company logo. Would you buy product from a seller that doesn't have a logo uploaded? I probably wouldn't. So think about those things, getting set up and designed, right? And to create the foundation, I have what I call the 3 daily tasks for all new sellers. This is like the Bible, right? Responding to messages, exchanging business contact cards, and adding customers to your customer list. I'm going to do a brief demonstration on this right now. I normally do this in the advanced training, but I want to add some of this into the orientation. And basically, when you log into your seller portal every day, you're going to have a certain amount of messages that haven't been replied to, and that's going to be on the right-hand side. So it's going to say unread inquiries. In this case, it says 14. Every day you're going to come in here, you're going to click on reply now. And then you actually want to click on this messages tab up here on the left-hand side. If you click on that, that takes you to where it groups all the inquiries and product inquiries and company messages just into one, so it's all in one place. So again, you click on reply now, and then you click on the messages tab at the front. And if you're saving a templated response or want to navigate it a different way, there's also a way, unread opportunity. If you click this box, it'll just show you the messages that you haven't responded to yet. So you can go to the oldest one, click on that. And like I said earlier in the presentation, the best way to approach this every day is to have a process in place. And in this case, this is Concession King's storefront. They're a convenience store distributor. They redirect everybody to their B2B website. So they basically have a templated response. You can see I save this template, use template. I just clicked on use template, and I saved a response in here that I'm going to send to them. That basically says, follow these instructions to get more information, right? Go create a customer account here. And then once they created a customer account there, someone on your team is going to get an email notification, right? That looks something like this, right? Oh, somebody filled out a new application. Here it is. I'm K&K Online Enterprises. This is where I'm located. This is my anticipated volume, right? This is a good way to utilize Alibaba as a sales tool, a B2B sales tool. What you would want to do is you want to have that templated response. You start thinking about that is basically what I'm saying. And then you go back to your messages, right? Here are all of our messages that we haven't responded to. And you just want to paste that templated response in there, right? Don't worry about what people are saying. Just give them the instructions they need to figure out your inventory is always changing, right? Pricing is always changing. This is how you ensure that your customer is getting the most accurate information and data, is redirect them through your sales process, your B2B sales process. That way you can better service their needs, but better than that, you understand what their needs are. So basically, I recommend people go through the messages every day and send them through their process, right? So that's what we're doing here. So the first thing, first daily is responding to messages. So we want to clear all these out. So we're just going to go ahead and do that one by one here. You just click and then you paste your templated response and you just send it. And make sure you get all the messages cleared out. So when you go back to your home screen, it says that you have 0 unread inquiries. And this is a very effective way to keep your response rate really high and still be servicing your customers like you need. Like, for example, look at this one. Like, what does this message even mean? But the system judges you on responding, so you have to respond. This is, I understand this stuff and it's very basic stuff, so just respond. They're not going to, if they're not going to follow your instructions, then you didn't want to talk to them anyway, right? This is the B2B volume side of the business, right? The customized listings. This is for a posting that wouldn't be a transactional posting where the order is taking place on the platform. This is just using it as a lead generation tool 24/7, right? Checking your messages every day, redirecting through your process. So once you respond to all messages, if you click on this home icon on the left, It always takes you back to your home seller portal. This is important, and I always recommend closing out of old tabs and kind of refreshing everything, you know. And then if also you can click on My Alibaba here at the top, it'll take you to the same page. So you can see now that we have no unread inquiries because we've replied to all of them. So that's step number one, is responding to messages daily, right? Responding to messages. Step number two, exchanging business contact cards. This is super easy. The next two things are the easiest things you can do. So under your contacts tab, you have a section called business cards. If you open received, you click on received, or I opened it in a new tab, you will see all the contacts that want to exchange information with you. So I can see that if it says send my card, I haven't exchanged it. And you can see this is where I left off yesterday, right? Because it says withdraw. I've already exchanged this information. So since yesterday, we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 new requests come in. So I want to make sure and just click send my card on all of that. And then you can click on My Alibaba at the top to go back to your seller portal. So that's step number two, right? So step number one, respond to messages. Step number two, exchange business contact card details, right? And then here's step number three. You want to add customers to your customer list. So under the contacts tab, you want to open your customer list in a new tab. Any customers that are here that haven't been added into your customer list will show up on the top right-hand corner in an orange bubble. This is important because let's say you have somebody fill out the form on your website and you want to know if this lead came from Alibaba or not, right? You can search their email here in your customer list. And if the email's here, then it came from Alibaba. So I have 6 customers that I need to add to my list since yesterday. So if I click on that and I click this box at the top, it'll select all of them and I click add to my customers. So those are the 3 dailies: responding to messages, exchanging business contact cards, and adding customers to your customer list, right? This is to avoid your customer from being transferred to the open leads list. This allows the algorithm to take full effect on your storefront. This seller's engaging, they're getting lots of traffic, right? Let's keep this going. So those are the 3 dailies. I do a little bit more in depth on those in the advanced training. If you have any further questions in 2 weeks, we'll go over that. Certainly need to learn how to get star rated. You know, uploading your products and putting good process in place should come first. But then you want to know, you know, how do I get star rated? And this is kind of a lot of information on one screen. I think the easiest way to see your star rating is actually in your portal, current star rating, forecasted star rating. If you actually click on this, it'll take you to your star rating portal and it'll give you feedback of why you're star rated, where you're at. And it's based off your lowest ranking. So if you're 5 stars in every category but 1, you're 3 stars in 1, then you're going to be a 3-star seller. So if I can get this to load here. Here we go. So this is where your star ranking is housed. As you can see, forecasted ranking 3 stars. We have 5 stars in product category, 3 stars in marketing, and 4 stars in service. So it's going to be based off our lowest score. So that's why we have 3 stars. And this would say, hey, here's things you can do to increase this score, right? We've already have the number of active buyers. We could increase our conversion rate by 5 points, right? That would be important. We could launch a campaign that would give us 10 more points, right? We could do some more RTS orders. We can make sure our showcase is full. You know, this is where you're going to dive into it. This is to help you be the best seller you can be, right? So that's where in the your star rating information is housed in the portal. It's a little bit easier than looking at this, but basically what I want you to take away from this is the max achievement you can get organically as a star rating is only 2 stars. To achieve 3+ stars, you have to be spending advertising money on the platform. So if you're a 2-star seller and you're not spending any advertising money, great job. Like, I mean, you're organically as high as you can get rated. The only way to get above 2 stars is to have some sort of advertising spend on the platform. And that's what I'm separating here with this big white line, you know, is unless you're utilizing those paid advertising features, you're not going to be 3 stars or above. But if you're organically navigating Alibaba and you're a 2-star supplier, you're doing great. Here's kind of what comes with being a star supplier, right? Higher search ranking. 5-star suppliers get higher search ranking, showcase exposure, more gold RFQs, higher quality buyer traffic. They get featured in expos and Super September, things like that. And then step nine, after you have all of your products uploaded, you have processes in place, right? Um, you have your storefront designed, right? You understand how to get star rated. Then you're ready to start thinking about maybe some advertising spend. Let's go from a 2-star to a 4 or 5-star supplier, right? I just wanted to outline some of those options, but creating a marketing budget and advertising strategy for your Alibaba.com B2B storefront is paramount. It's certainly shifting more towards the pay-to-play marketplace. Um, it's not tons of money. I mean, you could have a minimum budget of $350 a month, and you can kill it with that on Alibaba. But there's all different types of advertising options. For example, you have sponsored brands ads, PSA, KWA, search for your brands. This is some of the value, how they display, and how they look on the platform, right? So a sponsored brands ads, this is going to be at the very top of the page, right? You get the whole image section there. It's going to promote your storefront. PSA is going to promote your product, right? Top prioritized display under sponsored brands ads, right? So just a little bit of background on that as start thinking about marketing and advertising. And then step 10, scale your seller performance metrics and win the B2B digital shelf. This is key. My tips, post your products as customized lead generation postings with high MOQs first, with attractive pricing to get that traffic that you need to get everything going. And then you can always duplicate those. So you could post it as by the pallet and then duplicate those and post it by the case, make it an RTS listing. And a mom and pop shop can also order a case of your product. And so you're servicing both types of B2B customers that way. My second tip is, have a templated response for your account operator. Make it easier for them, where they can just redirect a lot of utilize Alibaba's reach to grow your business, right? They can redirect everything to a website contact us page or a landing page where you can capture their customer information and forward to your sales team. This is a win-win. Either an order gets placed or information's captured. You can always revisit them with email marketing tools month to month. And just because they don't place an order this month doesn't mean they won't next month or the following month. Important reminders that these are suggestions, high level suggestions. Connect with our service providers to get your products listed faster, right? Start gathering your product data and information in an Excel spreadsheet. And then also, remember this is a B2B platform. This has a longer sales cycle. A lot of times companies will cancel initiatives if they're not making ROI in 90 days. Well, this can be a platform that does that, but typically, this platform has a longer sales cycle because it just takes one customer to achieve that ROI because we're looking for importers, exporters, distributors, wholesalers, retailers, right? So those are some reminders that I always have. And so here's the 10 steps put back together, right? And then this is the best part of the presentation, the Q&A, because the chances are if you have a question, another seller probably has the same exact question. So this is a space for us to engage, get our questions answered. I can do some live demos. You can start sending in your questions and messages at the bottom. There's on your Zoom, you should have a Q&A tab with a messaging box. Go ahead and click on that. You can send a message in. I'm going to give you a few seconds for this to go through. And answer some of those questions. You will also get a survey after this. Please fill it out. This is how I continue to grow and improve this program. And then in 2 weeks, we have the advanced training, which is high level, live demonstration, in-depth product uploading, things like that. Looks like we have a few questions coming in. One question was, what is the benefit of adding leads to the customer list? Good question. This just moves it from what Alibaba system considers an open lead to it's identifying that you're interacting with people on the platform. So the benefit of adding it to your customer list is if you have a customer place an order or you do an order off the platform and you want to know if that lead came from Alibaba, if you're adding customers to your customer list, you can search their email there. And if it's on your customer list, then this is a lead that came from Alibaba. Because a lot of companies will create different funnels. They'll have funnels from Google going to the similar pages. So how do you know